I will be talking about the spiritual awakening. The spiritual awakening can happen in any human being at any age or at any point of time due to any situation, due to any influence, whatever could be the reason. But when the spiritual awakening starts in a person, the people and the human himself will find a lot of change in their ways, change in their thinking, change in their perceiving. At times, people may find them weird also and feel what kind of a person that this person has become and where is this knowledge coming from. The spiritual awakening comes from the source. The source is the God. And when it is coming to anyone, it means God has chosen you for that. So He needs you to do different things in a different way. And to understand that how a person can recognize that a spiritual awakening is happening to them is when they start having intuitions. Intuition is a very powerful tool of God, a very powerful sense. At times they take decisions, make their choices, which people may find it wrong and feel, why are they taking such decisions? Why are they making such choices? These are wrong. But the intuition of the person says, they feel, and they realize the repercussions or the outcomes, both. They know and understand the outcome of this is good for them. So they go ahead and make a decision just out of intuition without having any perfect plan in front of them. The intuition guides them to do a particular thing. I saw in the Bible, when I was reading about David, King Saul, the first king of Israel, was bloodthirsty for him. And he was always hiding himself to be saved because God has chosen him to be the next king, the second king of Israel. And Saul was not wanting that. He wanted his own son to be. And when God has chosen, He will protect you. The chosen ones are always protected under any calamity, any problem. After coming from a particular attack or a war, King Saul wanted to release himself, so he went to a cave. And while he was there, in the cave, David was hiding already. David saw him. Now they both were alone. Only David sees him, but Saul has not seen him. David could have killed him, taken a revenge. But he did not do that because he was the chosen one. He was to be used by God in a different way. Saul was considered to be the tallest man in Israel. Very, very tall. And David, a very short guy. Therefore, the big cloak that King Saul was wearing, he took the sword and cut a small piece of the robe's end. King Saul went away. And that piece of cloth, the choice he took out of intuition. Suppose if Saul had seen him, he would definitely have finished him there and then. A tall man killing a short is not difficult. And then also, God saved him. But the cloth that he took was later on shown by him to King Saul in his old time that this is what happened. I could have finished you there and then, but I did not do because you were there unaware and not with your sword inside. There I was with my sword. I could have killed you. The intuition of David made him take a decision there and then to do a certain thing, which became in his favor later on. So there are many times we have the intuitions to do things which people may say you are taking a wrong decision. But your intuition is saying that it is fine and you go ahead and do it and it turns out to be good. Then you start sensing things. People may be talking to you very sweetly, trying to uh, hold your mind in their talks and make you feel they are very good people. But there are certain senses inside of you that makes you feel there is something not correct but fakeness. Or many times certain things come in your dream and in your vision, and then you say something is wrong happening, and then it turns out to be the truth. I did see the day my mother-in-law died at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was there in my sleep in other city and she was in the other. She was paralyzed and she was with the maid, the midwife that we had kept for her to look after. And I had just come back after meeting her to see my sick father. But in the night, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was deep in my sleep, very tired, and I saw my mother-in-law, who was paralyzed for so many years, was walking in the clouds with angels, and plenty of them were there. Because she was a very wonderful and a good person, a very good-hearted woman. Therefore, during that time that the doctor told us later was the time of her death, I saw in my dreams my senses were open during that time. And I did try to wake up my husband to tell him, but it took me time to wake him up, telling him a dream about his mother. I never knew that that was the truth. So senses work when you have this awakening. Then you want to be alone for a lot of time. Why? Because you want to meditate and be alone, to connect your soul with the source. When Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane, he just went all alone. He said, I want to be with my Father. That being alone and meditating calms down yourself. It calms down your nerves. It gives you the energy that you have used up so much. The source gives that energy back to you to understand and do your work further. The body has two parts, the physical part and the aura, which is the unseen part. So many times you must have heard about cleaning the aura. The aura stays about 6 inches away from the body and it is white in color. But in the world we live, the aura is disturbed by the physical, by the surroundings. Sometimes the fear, sometimes you are sick, sometimes people try and harm you, they hurt you, they make you feel low, they make you feel bad. The energy to deal with them spoils your aura. And instead of the white color, it starts changing into purple. It is so much energized by the outside feelings, the energies which are negative. And the same way with the positive also. Therefore, with the meditation that we do, it changes the aura back into the white form. And that is how the calmness comes inside the body. And then you feel good back again. The people who are having a spiritual awakening within themselves, the time does not matter to them, because the time has been made by man to work out the complete days of 24 hours and the 365 days of the year. That has been made by man. But when there is a spiritual awakening, time does not matter. They can go to the hills, the mountains, the caves, meditate there, be alone. And God reveals them with so many things that they write also. Write down. Many scriptures are written. John wrote Revelation, which was revealed to him. The revelation starts coming to them. Ezekiel wrote about the temple being burnt and the children of Israel, good, bad, all, were taken as captives to Babylon. He had got that revelation. These were all the spiritually awakening in them. They awakened people. Their eyes could see which the normal human eyes cannot see. Therefore, the time is for them, those who need to chalk out their worldly life and worldly programs. But those who have the awakening, the time does not matter to them. If they sit in meditation, they will sit for hours and hours. If they write, they keep writing for hours and hours. And no exhaustion is there. They are never exhausted. At times they write for 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Even the most best lyricists or story writers, whoever are there, when they become creative, they use the loneliness, the quietness to calm themselves so that they can have what is inside of them to write down, to create. And that is also a spiritual awakening. When you write songs, when you write the lyrics, when you write spiritual things, these are all the forms of spiritual awakening in a human being. So whenever such things are happening to you, you want to be with yourself, alone. You want to talk to yourself. You want to be with yourself. It means that is the time God is going to reveal things to you. And you will write, you will do certain things. And for them, as Jesus said, when Martha and Mary were there and he was in their house preaching, Martha was listening to what Jesus was saying. Mary was listening, whereas Martha was cooking food for the disciples and Jesus. And then she comes and complains to Jesus, see, Mary is not helping me out in serving the food. And Jesus said, what she is taking is forever. It will stay. What you are taking and giving will be eaten, just praised, and then it is consumed and forgotten. Martha could not understand that time that what Mary was taking was what God was preaching of life, the value of life. So such preacher, when they come to this world and they tell us many things, forever they tell us forever and ever people will keep reading and take the knowledge. But there are many fake spiritual people also. When they speak, they have different agendas with them. They want plenty of followers running all after them, giving lot of money. They become sort of more commercial. They are not true to God, and nothing is revealed to them. That is all fakeness. In every religion you'll find all that. Doing false healing, false preaching, making noises. It is not so. Jesus never made noise. Everything was very quiet, simple, and done with a peaceful intention. The power was different. Then again, we see the fear of death is gone. The reason behind it is that they have understood that they are in the physical form which has got blood and the body. Then there is a spiritual form of us that is also attached to our body. And death is not to be feared of, because in the physical form also you are watching your loved ones and seeing the world. But when you leave this physical form and go back to the spiritual body from where you have come, again your spiritual eyes are open. Sometimes it is open even while you are living, which is called the spiritual awakening. If it is not, then after death also, after passing from the physical to the spiritual life, again you can still see them. They won't see you. Therefore, while we are living in this world, most of the time people are so much involved into this physical world. They have all the time for parties, for dressing up, going to clubs and going to other places, and celebrations are there. Big time arrangements are then made for celebrations. So much of time is consumed in that. But when it comes for spiritual awakening, they have not even understood it, what it is, because they are not touched by the Spirit of God. So then their spirits, after they have left the world also, will not be able to go and be joined with the Spirit of God from where they have come. The intuition, the sensitivity, not thinking of time at all. Time is meaningless. The fear of death goes away. Are all the signs, are all the things, if it is happening in anyone's life, it means there is a spiritual awakening happening inside of you. And God is revealing you, using you. He is revealing things to you so that you can spread it and you can tell the world what you think. It becomes very difficult at times to understand why so much thoughts are coming, why you are writing so much. It is God who's revealing things to you, and through you it's going to the world. Through you many people will learn, listen, and they can avail the opportunity of learning. The spiritual awakening, not everybody gets it. When you are righteous in the eyes of God and you follow the path of God, of righteousness, keep your mind pure, clean, and do not hurt people around. Do not do wrong things to people. This is the time when God chooses you for the spiritual awakening. Do like and understand and learn from whatever I am saying. I hope you love and like all the videos that I make. Do like, subscribe, and share my videos. The name of my channel is Words of Wisdom Decoded by Anita Benepal. I'm speaking from Mussoorie, and it is cold now here. God bless you all, and a very good night to all of you.